さ。
In this video, I'll walk you through some high-level information about what an encoder is, some use cases for using it to live stream, and some basics on how to set one up. Streaming with an encoder is a great option for more highly produced live streams that require a more polished experience for viewers. Okay, so what is an encoder? An encoder bridges the gap between your video content and YouTube. Essentially, an encoder converts your video content into a compressed format that can be sent to YouTube for playback on your channel. Some encoders are software applications on your computer, while others are standalone hardware. Note that although some components are standard, each encoder is slightly different and has different capabilities. For a list of YouTube verified encoders, be sure to check out this Help Center article linked in the description below. An encoder requires more equipment and setup than mobile or webcam streaming. So why would you use it? Well, an encoder lets you share your screen and broadcast your gameplay, use external cameras and microphones, use multiple audio tracks, or add special effects on screen, like using third-party tools and integrations to create on-screen pop-ups, stream with multiple remote participants, for example by using screen sharing software, and manage an advanced production with multiple cameras, video inputs, microphones, and media assets. Again, remember that each encoder has different capabilities and will require different setup. But now that you have a sense of what encoders let you do and you've checked out the list of verified ones you can choose from in our Help Center, here are some basics that apply to most encoders that'll help you set up the content that feed into yours. Some encoders let you set up scenes, layouts, or shots, or more media assets that appear to your viewers, and these assets are called sources. So your next step is to add sources. Any content you choose to display to your viewers would be considered a source within a scene, layout, or shot. This could be things like your webcam, your screen capture like the video game you're streaming, images, graphics, and more. Press the plus symbol to add your new source. Once it will automatically add your desktop sound and default microphone. If you're using a capture card, you may want to add everything out. Testing will help you make sure that the audio captured from your it'll help you make sure that the media asset isn't too loud or too low in comparison to the others. You might want to add or edit sources to make sure your audio isn't echoing. Adjust your sources. After adding all your sources, adjust them by dragging them on the preview to fit your desired orientation and size. Test everything out. Once everything is set up, test everything out to make sure you know how it looks capable of the one intended sense of the. Remember, before you can live stream on YouTube, you'll need to enable your channel for streaming and verify your channel at youtube.com/verify if you haven't already. Note that this verification is different than the verification badges you might see on some other channels. For more info on how to create and manage live streams, watch this playlist and check out the Help Center articles linked below in the description. Thanks for watching.
Is the exact process you're going to want to follow to ensure your live streams go smoothly and are set up correctly. So the first step is going to be verifying that you actually have the ability to live stream in the first place. So if you're on YouTube, you can click your little profile icon, dive into YouTube Studio. This is where you can control a lot of your back-end settings. Then click this settings button on the bottom left corner and then hit channel and then feature eligibility. So this is where you're able to double check that you actually are able to live stream. And the second setting here, these intermediate features are really important. So you can drop that down and you can see if you've verified your phone number. If you have not, it's going to look something like this. So it's going to say that you are eligible, but you haven't haven't done it yet, so you need to verify your phone number, and then that will confirm that you're actually a real person. They try to limit spam as much as possible, so they want to verify.
If you're a gamer and think the 5090 is the strongest GPU, I've got news for you. So, we took that 5090 of yours and compared it with RTX Pro 6000 Blackwell. Both cards were tested on Llama, SolidWorks, and also Cyberpunk. And yeah, you can see here that the 5090 got smoked so hard in both Llama and SolidWorks, running only at 3.46 token per second on Llama and 6 FPS on SolidWorks. Even in Cyberpunk, it was performing slightly worse than the Blackwell GPU. Okay, that's enough bashing. The 5090 is still the strongest gaming GPU out there, but compared to a workstation GPU in all these rendering softwares, it will never come close, especially in the line of professional work where shaving hours off a render can be the difference between meeting or missing your deadlines. If you're a gamer and think the 5090 is the strongest GPU, I've got news for you.
Since you're already playing games anyway, why not earn some free rewards while you're at it? All you need to do is download Buff, let it run in the background as you play.
If you want to start live streaming on YouTube, this is the exact process you're going to want to follow to ensure your live streams go smoothly and are set up correctly. So the first step is going to be verifying that you actually have the ability to live stream in the first place. So if you're on YouTube, you can click your little profile icon, dive into now stream for a later date. So for this tutorial, we'll just click go live now, and then that's going to give you two additional options. So this is choosing the type of stream that you want to do. Are you going to want to use the built-in webcam and go live directly from YouTube? Or are you going to want to use streaming software? And so for this tutorial, I'm going to show you both methods here so you can decide which option would be best for you. So for this first route using the built-in webcam, if you hit go, it's going to immediately pop up this box that looks pretty similar to how you would input all of your information for a standard YouTube upload. So if you've done that before, it'll look very similar. You got to dial in your title. So maybe we'll just call this test stream for now. Then you would want to dial in your description as well. And then you want to select these kinds of things, right? You want to upload a thumbnail, and note that for a live stream, you can only upload one thumbnail versus a YouTube upload, standard upload. You can test 3 different thumbnails for ABC testing. But for live streams, you can only do one. You can add this to a playlist, select who your audience is for. So all of those things you're going to want to do in the detail section. Then you go to monetization. You could turn monetization on if you want, or just leave it off. And then you go to these customization settings. So this is where you'll enable if you want live chat or not. Also, this participant mode is kind of important. Who do you want to be able to send messages and participate during your live stream? You can select anyone. There's this subscriber feature, which is kind of interesting, where there's a minimum subscriber time that you can allocate here so that people who are just like brand new subscribers in the last 20 minutes can't, or you could even do a custom range. So maybe it's like in the last hour or in the last days, like maybe in the last 30 days, you want people who have only been subscribed for at least 30 days to participate in that live stream. You can add all these filters here, but I'll just select any one for now. And then there's just a few other things you can do. You can add a message delay. So this means people can't like spam the chat so much. This will delay their comments every 60 seconds, which can be helpful sometimes. You could add slow mode if you wanted to. You could also redirect. So after your stream finishes, you could add a location to where it's going to redirect your viewers to after the stream is over. And you can also add a trailer so that people can watch a little trailer to your live stream before you actually go live. And then here's where you can check your visibility mode. So you can go private, where nobody's going to be able to see your stream. And this is great for testing your live stream to make sure all of the tech is functioning properly. So that's what we'll do today. But you could also go unlisted if you wanted to send a specific group of people an unlisted link. So, people can access it publicly, but it's not live for the world to see. And then there's public, where it's going to be posted to your YouTube channel. It's going to be live. Subscribers will get notifications. And this is typically what you would do if you are trying to go live for the masses. Or you could schedule a date and time where you'd like to go live at a later date. For this stream, we'll just keep it on private so we can test some of our settings. So after you hit done, this is where you'll see a little stream preview where you're able to double check any of your settings. So if you want to adjust any of this, like your title or your privacy, you can adjust that. And this is where we'll also select our camera. So I'm going to choose USB video because I'm using my FX30 right now as my webcam. And then I'll also select my Rodecaster Pro as my microphone input because I'm using my podcast microphone. So at this point, you're ready to hit live. As you click go live, you'll only have to wait maybe 2 or 3 seconds before you start being live. So now we're already live. So we're in there like you're good to go. You don't have to wait too long to get into your content. It's just a couple of seconds. So you want to make sure you're really ready to go live when you actually hit live. Once you're in the software, this is where you're going to see a couple things. You're going to see your chat over here on the right side. So this is where you could, talk to people, right? So here we are, we're talking to people. YouTube even highlights yourself for the chat as the creator of the stream. You can also do some things like engaging with your audience. You could start a question and answer, do a poll like, where are you watching from? And you can actually set these things up beforehand too. You can choose to edit your stream in the YouTube Studio app, which we'll talk about at the end of this video. So that's how you live stream through the YouTube app. But what if you want to use external software to elevate the experience of your live streams a little bit more? These softwares help you add some more engaging elements where you might be able to add some different camera inputs and some graphic overlays. And here at Think Media, our favorite software to use has been StreamYard, and they're a sponsor of this channel. And we've used them for years to run all of our live streams. A software like StreamYard lets you add in animated titles, also share multiple screens and camera inputs. You can even add a guest to your live stream if you want your guest to be a part of your stream and have different camera angles for you and all of your guests. So there's a lot of functionality here. Let's dive into StreamYard to show you how you would set up your first stream inside of StreamYard. So when you're inside of StreamYard, you have multiple ways you can start creating content, but we'll click live stream for the sake of this tutorial. And what's cool about
Games went downhill when they got rid of cheats. We're bringing them back. Wiimote gives you dozens of
So streaming to YouTube doesn't need to be difficult. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to connect YouTube into OBS Studio and the best settings to be able to utilize to have high quality, professional looking streams on YouTube. And if you're new here, welcome to the Streamer Academy, where I help you start, create, and grow your stream. So go ahead and check out the streameracademy.com for tons of resources to help you grow your stream. So the first thing that we're going to do is you want to have OBS open. We're going to come to the bottom right and we're going to select settings. This is where a big bulk of the adjustments of getting everything connected is going to happen. We're going to come to the left hand side and we're going to select stream. Where it says service, we want to select YouTube RTMP-S. This is then going to ask you to go ahead and use a stream key or to be able to connect your account. I encourage you to use the connect account because what it does is that it then brings in the YouTube chat into OBS Studio as well, allowing you to be able to manage it, to respond, and then you can also schedule your live streams directly inside of OBS Studio as well. So go ahead and select connect account recommended. It's going to go ahead and ask you to get logged in. So what you're going to do is you're going to select your email that you have for your YouTube channel. You're going to allow OBS to be able to go ahead and continue. You'll press continue. It'll ask you to log in. You may have to provide some authentication. And then once you're done, you'll see a screen that says authorization completed successfully. You can now close this page. So we'll come here back to OBS Studio. And now you'll see here that your account is connected. So we want to select ignore streaming services using recommendations. We'll select that because we're going to put custom settings that's going to make our stream look professional. So we'll simply select OK, and you'll see here that our chat now comes up. So what you can do is you can drag this and you can go ahead and place it on the left hand side, and you can adjust this here. Okay, and it says here, once a broadcast has been created, your live chat will appear here. Okay, so every minute you go live, the chat's going to pop up here and you'll be able to go ahead and do that. This is the YouTube live control panel. This is optional if you want to be able to use it. And again, this is going to give you again some additional features for you to be able to see and monitor for your stream. And if you do want that, you'll simply go through the same process and log in again. Now, I personally don't use it, so I just like to have my chat, like to have my horizontal, and I like to have my vertical as well here whenever I'm streaming. So now, just connecting over YouTube to OBS does not make your stream look good. We need to go ahead and adjust some settings to make sure that it works out right. So we'll come back to settings here. We'll go to where it says output, and we're gonna go ahead and select advanced under output mode. Now, everything up to this point is exactly the same. This is where it changes whether you're on Mac or you're on Windows. So I'm gonna share both settings for you, and then based on what you're utilizing, copy those settings for the best looking stream. So the first thing here is that if you're on a Mac, you're going to follow these exact settings here. You're going to have your audio encoder on ACC. Your video encoder needs to be Apple VT H.264 hardware encoder. Super important. Your rate control CBR. Your bit rate here, you don't have to have it at 9,000. You can if you can afford it, but you can really put it at 6,000. This is going to give you a good stream. And you may be asking, how do you determine whether or not you can have 6,000, 9,000, or even more? And the way you do that is by checking your internet speed. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to speedtest.net, and I'm going to put a link if you're on a Windows, these are the settings that you're going to go ahead and utilize. So you're going to go ahead and keep it at advanced. You're going to use the audio encoder. You're going to use ACC. Your video encoder, you're going to use NVIDIA NVIC H264. If you don't have a really good graphics card, you can select HX264, okay? And that's going to be decent enough for you to be able to go ahead and stream. And then for your rate control, you're going to use constant bitrate. Again, we're going to follow the 6000 for this. You're going to do keyframe intervals. You're going to put it at 2. Your preset, you're going to put it at P5 slow. Now, again, if you have a really good PC, you can go ahead and even go to P7. If you go to P7, that's going to be the best quality, the more strain on your computer. If you go P1, it's going to be less quality, it's going to be smoother, but it's going to require less resources on your PC. I like to keep it at P5. Tuning, put it at high quality. Multi-pass mode, 2 passes. Profile high. Uncheck look ahead. Adaptive quantization, put it on. And then brief frames, put it at 2. If you follow these settings right here, whether you're on Mac or you're on Windows, this is going to give you the smoothest experience on YouTube. You're going to look great on camera. Your screen's going to look good, and it's going to be a great experience for your viewers. So once you've gone ahead and set up those settings there, we're going to come to apply, and you're going to select OK. And then we're going to come back into the settings just one more time, and we're going to want to make sure you have your audio destination set up correctly. So your desktop audio, you want to make sure you select your desktop audio. And then for your microphone, you want to make sure you utilize your microphone that you utilize here. Now, this can be your Rodecaster, it can be any mic that you have connected to your computer. You select that, press OK, and now we have the best settings here. Now you can just simply click start streaming to go live and not have to worry about any of the issues here. Now, again, you can go ahead and set this up inside of YouTube, or you can do it here inside of OBS. You can select manage broadcast, and this is going to give you the option to be able to select your title. So we can type in here test title. You can put in your description. Now, if you have default descriptions and things that you normally utilize, I encourage you to set this up inside of YouTube, and then you can go ahead and select existing broadcast, and you'll be able to use it there. However, you can put a description here. You can decide if this is going to be public, unlisted, or private. Super important. If you select private, only you're going to be able to see it. If you select unlisted, only people who have access to the link can see it. Public is going to be available to everyone, and it's going to put it into the algorithm as well. Then you select your category. You want to select no, it's not made for kids, or yes, it's made for kids based on what it is that you're doing. You can then go ahead and upload your thumbnail. And then for latency, you want to go ahead and put it at ultra low, especially if we're streaming at 1080p 60 frames per second, which is the stream settings that I gave you. This is going to make it to where when people type in chat, you're able to respond right away. So there's the lowest amount of latency between when somebody chats with you and what's happening on stream and what's actually happening in real time. Then you can go ahead and schedule this for later, or you can go ahead and create the broadcast and start streaming, or just simply create the broadcast and come back to it later. So you can select that. Once you have that in place, you can go ahead and hit start streaming, and now you're good to go. However, okay, you don't want to just go live without having a professional looking stream. So you can see here that I have a graphics, I have my gameplay, I have my camera showing here for me as well. So if you want to have a professional looking live stream with graphics and overlays, go ahead and watch this video right here where I walk you step by step on how to add all your overlays, alerts, your chat, your starting soon, everything that you need to make your stream look professional in this video right here.
We'll guide you through how to stream on YouTube with OBS. If you find this useful, then consider subscribing and liking the video. First of all, go and open up OBS, just like so. Then what you want to do is go and create a new scene on the left by clicking the plus button, and we can start adding some sources. I'll click the plus. In this case, I'm just going to keep it simple and add a display capture like so. I can add a webcam and even more things, but I'm just keeping it simple. Then come over and go and click on settings, and I'll go and open up. And come over to the left and go and click on stream. For this service, of course, we need to go and select YouTube, so go and click on it. The easiest way is to connect your account. So click that button. You'll be asked to go and choose a Google account, and you need to choose the channel you want to go and stream on. Then what you need to do is go and allow access for OBS, so I'll press continue, and that's it. Now come over to the left and go and click on output, and you want to make sure output mode is set to simple, and we come into streaming. So first of all, we need to decide what our bitrate is going to be. To do that, open up your web browser, and you want to come to a site called speedtest.net. Here you can test your internet. I can go and see my upload speed is 222. Now we're going to be using a great article by Streamlabs, which I'll go and link down below, or you can go and search for it. And you want to scroll down to recommended internet speed for live streaming. We can find YouTube here. we can then see the different speeds on the left here, and we can go and see the bitrate we can then use. By the way, I wouldn't use your entire upload speed because you'll probably be playing games and other people use your internet, so I wouldn't use more than half. So because mine is 222, I'd use up to 111, so I can easily stream at a pretty high quality. 1080p is going to be a pretty optimum quality to stream at, so therefore I can use between 3000 and 9000. So now we can come and return to OBS, and I'll go and type in 8000, which it already is at, and that's just good optimum. For the bitrate, I'll leave that 160. For the encoder, if you've got a hardware encoder like NVENC, I'd go and use that. Otherwise, you